Well, my picks have sucked ass this year. Let's see if this week is the week we turn it around. Yeah, looking at these games. And welcome everybody to the Friday Forecast here on Stay Tuned Sports. Your boy King hanging out with you here on this lovely Friday, the 14th of November. The most auspicious of dates. I don't know. I have no idea. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to help the channel, help out your boy King here, hit that like button, hit that share button, and of course, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button. That share button is important. Let people know we exist. It is fantastic. And word of mouth is how really anything good is ever going to happen. Much like that one sorority girl from the University of Florida. If you know, you know. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. By the way, if you want to help us out a little bit more directly, since we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, which would help us get to being monetized here on the YouTubes. But since we're not there yet, we can't do super chats, we can't do memberships. If you want to help us out a little bit more directly, you can. We have a link for our donation station and our merch store in the top of the chat, which is open. You can interact with us here on the Friday Forecast as we go ahead and I make my picks for yet another week of futility in this NFL season. You can go ahead and do all that. Also, the merch store open. We have the Fuck the Refs hoodie and T-shirt. We have the Jets Just End the Season hoodie and T-shirt. We have the Buffalo Bills Orchard Park Football Mafia with the Charging Buffalo wing. We've got the Jackson Dart shirt, which, again, he will not be starting this week, but it's still a good shirt. Show your support for that young, brave man having to deal with Brian Daboll for as long as he did. We can do all that. You can help us out there. All of that there. We got coffee there. We got mugs. We've got, again, there's a lot of stuff in the store. So go check it out there at the store. Go check out the donation station if you want to donate anything. Check out the Discord link. We have that in the top of the chat and in the description as well. And, of course, as always, we are supported here or helped out, I guess, kind of. We'll see. It really helps on you guys. The more you buy Dubby, the more it helps us, as long as you go ahead and use our code. If you go to w.gg and use the link, use the code STSports20. I'm sorry, why did I use the number on there? It's not 20. It's just ST Sports. I don't know why. I got my codes mixed up. But if you go to w.gg and use the code STSports, that's w.gg, and use the code STSports, you'll get 10% off of your first order of Dubby energy drinks, which are fantastic for you. Have no artificial colors, no artificial junk, nothing like that. It has no sugar in it, which is also fantastic, especially for me being a diabetic. It has vitamins, it has minerals, it has neurofactor room, maybe helps you out with your picks as you're doing them along here with me and see how you're doing. All of that great stuff there. At Dubby. It is the energy drink that you're going to want to use, whether you're gaming, whether you're streaming sports, whether you're, like I said, if you're gaming, smashing, got to get the smashes, and, you got to keep the energy up. Your lady's not going to want you with no energy. You don't want to be lethargic. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like ho-hum when you're with the hoe. You can't be ho-hum with the hoes. You got to be up. You got to be ready. Dubby's going to help you out with that. So w.gg and go use the code STSports. That is w.gg and the code STSports for 10% off your first order. Dubby be better. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here. Yeah, ELS bringing up the fact that the record for the picks, I have 84 wins and 61 losses in the picks. So I am over 20, what am I, 23 games over 500? That's not terrible. So it's not terrible. My picks aren't bad, but they're not great. They could be a lot better. Crafty says, yeah, you got mugs. We stare at yours at the stream, all stream long. Look at this mug. This is a good little mug here. Isn't it? This is great. Crafty says, I effing hate King when he trolls us with a stream star. It's not troll. It's a reminder. Hey, the stream is coming. Get ready. I don't want to just start the stream willy-nilly, and then because you'll get the notification that the stream is starting, and it's like, oh, God, where are you guys? What's going on? Oh, no, we missed the first part of the show. Maybe there was something cute or funny that King said. Probably not, but you never know. I might get it one day. It might happen one day, Crafty. But that's why I like it. And plus, I get bored, and I like doing little video things. So, stop complaining about my intros. Damn it, I love my intros. I cut it down from what it was. Remember, it used to be like 5 minutes? Remember I had like the 5-minute intro? Like, at least it's not the 5-minute intro anymore, okay? Thank you, Crafty. That song did, actually. I hate when I was doing the W read. Yeah, you got to be bad. You got to be strong. You got to be. That did go into my head as I started saying that. I was like, you got to get up. You got to be more energetic. You got to be. Son of a bitch. I hate it when somebody gets into my head like that. Get out of my head, Crafty. Get out of my head. Anyway, as we know, last night the New England Patriots took care of business and beat the New York Jetropolitans in their game on Thursday Night Football, in which I guess was better than we had anticipated. It was definitely better than any of the primetime games last week. But still won by 13 points did the Patriots. They are now 9-2. And looking good. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what other games are happening on this. Listen, this one, I feel like this week's going to be tough for picking. I do. It just feels it. It just feels like it. And I don't like it. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got. As you can see there, the Patriots beat the Jets. So that's a win already. I'm up one. Woo! I don't know anybody who would have picked the Jets, but apparently they did. Oh, excuse me for the coughing. I got a little bit of, it's the cold. The cold weather's here now. Change of seasons always. Your boy King gets a little bronchitis, as it were. Hopefully it doesn't turn into pneumonia. We'll see. A little nice warm coffee will do you good, though. Nice coffee. That'll do you a good one. We have the early game on Sunday, the Madrid game. The Washington Redskins taking on the Miami Dolphins at the, the Bernabeu there in Santiago Bernabeu in Madrid, where Real Madrid plays. Again, I don't think either of these teams are particularly good. However, I can't pick the Redskins right now. I can't pick Washington. They're just injured. They're not playing well. And again, I don't think the Dolphins are any great shakes. But their Dolphins are coming off a win against the Bills. Now, again, this is international travel. They just had a big win. Could the Dolphins easily lay an egg in this game? Absolutely. They've laid a lot of eggs this year. And this could be one where I think they absolutely lay another one. So this is what I mean. I think this week's going to be a little hard when it comes to the picking. I think it's going to be a little hard when it comes to the picking. However, I am going to go with the Dolphins over Washington, over in Madrid. That's the early game there, 9:30 a.m. We will not be covering that game because it is two just completely ass franchises. Next is the Panthers and the Falcons. This one I did hem and haw a little bit, but I'm going to go with the Panthers to get a bounce-back win against the Falcons. I just can't trust the Falcons. They have talent. They have Bijan Robinson, but they just don't want to use him. They just don't want to use him. And apparently, there was something earlier today about an issue or something Penix had said or something. But this is from ESPN, by the way. Atlanta Falcons coach Raheem Morris sounded off on a misappropriated viral clip of quarterback Michael Penix Jr. calling the whole situation a joke that lets you down about how people act online. In the clip from his Wednesday news conference, Penix talks about his fiancé and former coaches as people he has for support. Some who shared the segment made the leap in the caption that Penix has no one on the Falcons coaching staff or roster there for him, an insinuation that spread on social media over the past few days. So Morris seemed to be a little upset there by Penix saying that. I mean, it seems like that's what it – again, you never know how things are interpreted. Things can be misinterpreted. So you don't know. Is that what he meant, that there was nobody there but he just has other people to talk to when he's not on the field? Is that what he's talking about? Or is there literally nobody on the Falcons there for that man to have a conversation with and be like, hey, I don't know. From some Falcon fans that I've talked to, they're not a big fan of Raheem Morris right now. And I can understand that. But again, I can't trust the Falcons until they show me something. And right now, I think the Panthers, despite their loss last week to the Saints at home, I feel like the Panthers are on more of a upward trajectory. I feel like they are a team that can take a hit like that, realize, okay, we are still rebuilding, we are still getting better, and they can go into Atlanta. And I think that will be a big test for these Panthers to go into Atlanta and get a win at the Butthole Dome. And I think they will. So that's why I have the Panthers there. Now, the next game, and this is, boy, Jesus Christ, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Buffalo. This one got me hemming and hawing. I was hemming and hawing the entire time. I still don't know. I have the Buccaneers picked here. Only 14% of the people are on the Bucs, which is surprising to me. I know the Buccaneers lost to the Patriots last week at home. At home they lost to the Patriots. But again, the Patriots beat the Buffalo Bills at home too. And the Bills then just last week got mollywopped by the Dolphins. The Bills still don't have a definitive number one wide receiver. You figure they might have picked one up during the trade deadline. Did not happen. Nothing of that sort happened. The Bills are on the precipice of being in a real bad spot here. They're 6-3. If they lose this game to the Buccaneers, they're sitting at 6-4 with the Patriots being 9-2 and having firm command of that division. This feels like a must-win for the Bills, but this also kind of feels like a must-win for the Buccaneers. Now, again, the Buccaneers, I think, are in a little bit better position because of the division that they're in. But if the Panthers win their game and the Buccaneers lose this, they're only half a game ahead. They'll be 6-4, and the Panthers will be 6-5. So it's if you're the Buccaneers, you have to win this game as well. And I think they will. I think Baker will bounce back, get this team bounce back from the last game. I know. Is Bucky Irving playing in this game? It feels like I've heard reports that he is. I don't know. Is he back? And I think White was going to be playing in this game too. Again, I don't have the full report or if they're holding off on that. Either way, it just feels like the Buccaneers are going to win this game. And again, this is how I make the picks, and this is why my picks are. That's why they're okay. They're good, not great. I think that's why they're good, not great. And because I just kind of I feel it. And if I was doing better, I'd be beating my sister-in-law in the family picks, which I'm not. She's destroying everybody again. Next game is the Chargers and Jaguars, and again, this feels like a game of teams that are inconsistent, mid right there. The Jaguars, boy, what a collapse they had against the Texans. That was bad. Crafty in the chat says nobody's allowed to talk in Atlanta. It's the NFL equivalent of a quiet place. ELS, he thinks that the Bucs-Bills game is going to go into overtime, and that's certainly possible. Like I said, that's a game that feels like that's going to come down to a last possession. Who has the ball last? Will it be Josh Allen? Will it be Baker Mayfield? That's going to be a fun game to watch, I think. I think that's going to be a real fun game to watch. As for the Chargers and Jaguars, again, I don't know which way to go with it. Because, again, are the Jaguars going to be able to bounce back from that epic collapse in Houston? The Chargers, yeah, they beat Pittsburgh on Sunday night, but it was 5 field goals and a safety that really had to get. They got like a late touchdown there during the game, and it was a boring ass game. So are the Chargers any great shakes? I don't think the Chargers are world beaters by any stretch of the imagination. They are sitting at 7-3. They are on the road, but it does feel like this is when they're going to win. The Jaguars, boy, if the Jaguars can come back from that collapse that they had against the Texans, kudos for them. I just don't feel it. I just don't see it. I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one. But then again, the NFL has made me look like an idiot all year. Well, I don't need the NFL's help to look like an idiot. I am pretty much a dingus and a doofus, as Paul has said many times in here. A little bit of a dingus. But it's just how I feel. It's just how I feel, baby. Bucky and Godwin are ruled out for this week. Ooh, that's going to make it a little bit tougher. That's going to make it a little bit tougher there for the Bucs. Maybe I'll switch my pick. For now, though, I'm going to stick with the Buccaneers. I am going to stick with them. It's been aired. It's been made. I'm going to stick. As I take another sip of my delicious coffee. Bears, Vikings. This one is closer than I think a lot of people think, and you can see it listed in how the people have picked. 54% on the Vikings, 46% on the Bears. It feels like the Bears may be turning a corner here. Now, again, they beat the Giants after the Giants had another epic fourth quarter collapse. That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that a win like that, even if it is against the New York Giants with Brian Daboll, it gives you confidence, gives Caleb confidence, gives that team confidence that, hey, listen, no matter how much we're down, no matter how much, things don't look great or things aren't working out, we can win games. And the Vikings have a great defense. I think we understand that. J.J. McCarthy still he looks okay, but he's not performing great. And he does have weapons there to use. He does. I mean, listen, he's got a full complement. He's got Justin Jefferson. He's got Addison. He's got Thielen. He's got Jones in the backfield. Like, he's got weapons to use. He's got to start getting it to the places it needs to be more consistently. 1,000%. And so, pardon me while I burst into flames. That's why I got the Bears. I think the Bears are on a little bit more of a roll here. And it feels like they're starting to feel themselves. Now, again, this is a game they can get blown out in, and I wouldn't be surprised by it. But I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Caleb. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Ben Johnson. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to those Chicago Bears to go into Minnesota and get the win over the Vikings. The next game is a real interesting one between the Packers and the Giants, between ELS and myself. ELS, of course, big Packers fan, me being a Giants fan. Packers coming off just a dismal performance on Monday night against the Philadelphia Eagles, losing 10-7 in a game that was the score. The game was not the amount of points was not how much the game actually was. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. It was Broncos Raiders Thursday night football bad. And now the questions are starting with the Packers. Is Jordan Love the guy? Is he not the guy? Is LaFleur the coach? Maybe they got to start looking to change there. Is there something like that? Everybody's talking pretty good about the defense. Everybody likes the defense. With Houffley there as the defensive coordinator, doing well with the Packers defense, and I don't think you're finding anybody have an argument about that. I think that is good. Now the Giants, obviously, not great. 2-8. Jackson Dart will not be starting. Jameis Winston will be getting the start here. They just fired their head coach Brian Daboll, which I actually think is a good thing for the Giants here. Again, the post-coach firing bump is a real thing. I'm telling you. Look it up. Look at the stats. Teams that fire their coach usually do pretty well the next week. The Giants have a great defense. Their defensive coordinator, not so much. I'm surprised he didn't get fired as well. But the fact that Kafka was named the interim head coach and immediately comes out and says, yeah, no, Russell Wilson is not our number 2. We are definitely going with Jameis Winston as our number 2 quarterback, instantly made everybody else say, oh, somebody knows what he's doing. This might go well. So believe it or not, and this is going to be bad for Packers fans, and boy, it will get loud in Green Bay. It doesn't get loud in Green Bay. Wisconsin is not a very loud place, but it will get loud there in northern Wisconsin if the Giants beat the Packers. And I got to tell you, I think the Giants are going to go ahead and beat the Packers. I think they're doing it. I think they're doing it for this one game. I think the Giants maybe not. They don't win another game the rest of the year. That's very possible. That's super possible. But I think for this game, being relieved of the burden that was Brian Daboll, I feel relieved. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord for getting that fat fuck off of all of our shoulders. It feels like Jameis is going to give an epic pregame speech. We know that. The fans in the stands are actually going to be excited for once to be like, we got rid of that Ozempic sucking fuck. Oh, God, it feels so good. Praise Jesus. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm having a gospel moment here. I'm having a gospel moment because we don't have Brian Daboll. And it just feels like it. It feels like it. Now, again, the Giants could get crushed, and, it is what it is. I'm just going to be like, you chalk it up to what it is. But for this 1 week, I'm going to have hope. And that's why I have the Giants beating the Packers. Sorry, ELS. Very sorry. Crafty says, well, the Titans slept through their coach, their post-coach firing room. Yes, they did. They did not do well. Bengals, Steelers. The Bengals are this close to getting Joe Burrow back. Their defense is trash. We know that. But guess what? The Steelers' defense is trash. And who would have thought that? I wouldn't have thought that. But the Steelers' defense is fucking atrocious. It is a bad, bad defense. And if Aaron Rodgers and that Steelers offense has another bad game that basically helps out the Bengals defense and, where they don't have to do too much work. The Bengals already beat the Steelers once. Why not go for the sweep? And, boy, the Steelers are going to be in trouble because, again, if they lose and the Ravens win their game, Ravens are in first place. And then it's going to get loud for Mike Tomlin and that entire Steelers organization. I guess I'm rooting for the chaos. I got the Bengals. Why not? Only 11% of the people are on the Bengals. That's a lot for considering how the Bengals are. But maybe the Bengals, seeing Joe Burrow at practice, they get a little bit of hope. They get a little bit of heart. And maybe that defense stiffens just slightly from completely flaccid to semi-turgid. We'll see. Texans, Titans. I still don't believe in the Texans. I still don't think the Texans are a very good team. But they're better than the Titans. And they're going to be riding high off of that major comeback that they had. Davis Mills, in the second half of that game, played a lot better than he did in the first one. The second half, really the fourth quarter, he played a lot better. Can he continue that? Can the Texans continue that? They are playing in Nashville. I don't think that really matters. I think the Titans will give them a game. But, again, I don't trust the Texans. I don't like the Texans. But it feels like the Texans will get this win against the Titans. So that's where I have them. And again, here's another upset. Again, this week is going to either be super good for me or this is going to be flop week central for me. I've got the Cardinals over the 49ers. 49ers coming in after they lost to the Rams. They're playing the Cardinals who they got mollywopped by the Seahawks. So both of these teams licking their wounds. They're playing in Arizona, in Glendale, at University of Phoenix Stadium. Is that what it is? Or is it State? No, it's State Farm Stadium now. That's right. And, again, Jacoby Brissett is starting. I still like the Cardinals with Brissett starting. I feel like this is a game where the 49ers, I think it feels like the injuries may be starting to pile up. You have Brock Purdy starting. That's the other thing, too. Is Brock Purdy going to be good and sharp coming basically off the bench here to start this game? And if he's not, do the Niners have a quick hook? Do they put Mac Jones back in? Or do they try to stick it out with Brock Purdy? And if he doesn't play well, what happens? So I'm gonna hedge my bets on this one too. I am going with the Cardinals and Jacoby Brissett to get the win at home against the 49ers in the division, which still surprisingly wouldn't put the Niners really out of reach of the division. It makes it a hell of a lot more difficult. But they'd be 6-5. With the Cardinals being 4-6 in the division. The Cardinals season is done, and they just want to play spoilers, and I'm pretty sure they would love nothing more than to spoil the hated rival, San Francisco 49ers, and their fans wanting to see if they still have a chance at the division, which after this, it wouldn't be dead, but it would be on life support. And then speaking of the other NFC West teams, we got a double NFC West matchup here. This is the Seahawks and the Rams, and this might be the game of the week, which unfortunately isn't going to be the game of the week because CBS has the doubleheader, and since this is a Fox game, they can't, it's going to be just limited to the regional areas, so sucks if you don't get the doubleheader. But there we are. See, and here in the New York area, we won't get that, so I'm going to have to see if I can find a different way to watch it. Because I do want to watch that game. Maybe that'll be the 4 o'clock game I'll watch on Sunday. Seahawks and Rams. Again, Rams are going to be wearing their midnight hour uniforms or whatever they're calling them. Midnight in L.A., which is a dangerous place. You don't want to be there. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. Again, both of these teams are playing well. The Rams defense is phenomenal. The Seahawks defense is playing better than anybody thought they would. Sam Darnold is having, I don't want to say an MVP type year, but it's close. It's up there. Jackson Smith and Jigba having an amazing year. Even Charbonnet there at the running back position there having a good year. Like the Seahawks are moving. Matthew Stafford is having an MVP type year. Devontae Adams, I don't believe he's playing in this game, but Puka Nacua is. Puka's playing, and Puka is looking mighty good. And again, this is This is as marquee of a matchup that you're going to have in the NFC this year, and they're both in the same division. Fun game to watch. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I've been riding with the Seahawks for a while. I think the Seahawks get this win. Seahawks, we got Flocka in the chat here, says, oh, hey, I got here just at the exact right time. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, because I am picking your Seahawks to go ahead and beat the Los Angeles Rams down at SoFi, which will be full of most likely Seahawks fans, as it is always at SoFi. It's always the visiting team fans that outnumber anybody else there by at least 3-1. It's 2-1 to 3-1 in their advantage always at SoFi for any team that visits, and I think that's the same there. So the Seahawks, I've been riding with the Seahawks all year. I do believe that the Seahawks are a legitimate NFC team. We're going to find out. Whoever wins this game is going to be in a hell of a lot better position, not just in the division, clearly, but in the NFC as well. Ravens and Browns. Browns' defense is good. That's about it. And the Ravens seem to be on a mission with Lamar back. Their defense, while not great, is playing better than they were, especially when they were all injured. A lot of those injuries have healed. They've got a lot of people back. So, again, not a great defense, but it feels like it'll be good enough to deal with the Browns on the road. I have the Ravens, but this is also a game that the Ravens easily drop. Like every year they have a game like this that they'll drop. Does it happen again this year where they lose in Cleveland? We'll see, but I am going to go with the Ravens. Chiefs, Broncos. Here's the thing. I've been saying now for a couple weeks that I think the Broncos are the worst, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2 team I've seen. And they are. They're playing in Denver. Kansas City's coming in. I think Kansas City, despite the loss to Buffalo, they're coming off a bye. They've been playing a lot better as of late. Plus, now they have the bye week to kind of get a little bit of rest. Are you gonna bet against Andy Reid coming off a bye? I'm not. Not only do I think the Chiefs win this game, I think they win this game by 2 touchdowns. I think they blow out the Broncos. The Broncos have been living just a sugary fairy tale land of a dream world season so far, with somehow sneaking out some of these fucking wins that they have. Miracle win against the Eagles, ultra super miracle win against the Giants, winning that awful game on Thursday night against the Raiders. They have not played well. Bo Nix has not played well. Their defense is what has been saving them. I mean, they almost lost to the Jets, and Justin Fields threw for negative 10 yards in that game. And they almost lost to the Jets. They won that game by 2 points. That's how bad the Broncos have been. And now they got to go up against the Chiefs. I think even the Chiefs, even if the Chiefs weren't the Chiefs and weren't getting better as the season has gone on here, I think the Chiefs would have won this game. I think not only did they win this game, I'm calling this one at least a 14-point blowout for Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Mr. Redwood himself, and the Chiefs over the Broncos. ELS says, King, in the pick'em, this is going to be an interesting week for us. One will win big and another will not. I agree with you, ELS. This is going to be, like I said with my picks already, I've made some picks here. It's either I'm going to hit on a couple really good ones, or, boy, it's going to be a real bad week. I'm going to have like 3 wins, maybe. We'll see what happens. Sunday night, Lions and Eagles. Again, the Eagles, another team, have not played a full 60 minutes of football. Cannot trust that Eagles team. Can't trust Jalen Hurts. Can't trust Saquon Barkley. Can't trust that offense. The defense has been playing better as of late, but is that the defense playing well, or maybe some of their opponents' offense just not playing as well as they maybe should have? Again, this is a team that lost by 17 points to the New York Giants. Now, again, 2 weeks later, they beat the Giants by 18 after they decided to rip Scatterbo's ankle in half during a hip drop tackle. Just want to point that out. And, of course, the Giants just being the Giants. But the team did lose to a Giants team badly, 34-17. Can't do that. They've had some, they're 7-2. Again, another team like the Broncos by the skin of their teeth. They're going up against the Lions team here now, who, again, Dan Campbell calling the plays. It seems like they're hitting a bit of a stride here. Now, again, they did play Washington, so Washington has not that great this year, as we've all noticed, so maybe you take that with a grain of salt. I'm going with Detroit to get the win on the road at the Link at Lincoln Financial Field because you're gonna have to play a full 60 to beat the Lions, and I don't think the Eagles can be a team right now that plays a full 60. You figured after their bye that would be something that they did, especially against the Packers. And again, they almost let the Packers win that game, and the Packers played awful in that game. Guess what? So did the Eagles. Neither one of those teams really deserved to win that game. And now they're going to go up against the Lions at home. This feels like the Lions win, and I won't say it's as big as a win as the Chiefs over the Broncos, but I think the Lions will win comfortably. ELS in the chat says, Crafty in the chat says, if the Eagles win, will King finally give them a semi-decent rating? If they win and look like they play a full 60-minute, yeah, absolutely I will, Crafty. Absolutely. But the same goes for the Broncos. Like, if the Broncos beat the Chiefs, Broncos are going to move up because it's going to be like, wow, okay, now you've beaten a team, you look solid, you did something like that. If they look like ass again, if they don't play a full game, how can I put them up? Like, I can't. I trust nothing when it comes to the Eagles or the Broncos. Those two teams make me so angry with how they play. I can't do it. And for Monday night. Oh, let's all get ready for this one on Monday night. The Cowboys and the Raiders. I think the Cowboys did some decent work in a trade deadline on their defense. Getting Quinion Williams is a big piece there. And they got what's-his-face, linebacker from the Bengals. I forget his name right now, but he'll go by what's-his-face. What's-his-face from the Bengals. They got him as well. And again, the Cowboys' offense is fantastic. The Raiders are just bad. The Raiders are just a bad team. Top to bottom, front to back. They're just a bad team. And this feels like the Cowboys should win and should win easily. This game is in Vegas. I don't think that really matters. So I'm going with the Cowboys to beat the Raiders. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your Week 11 Stay Tuned Sports Friday forecast. As I have foreseen. All is going as I have foreseen. Do it. You see the Giants have fired their coach. You want to pick them, don't you? Pick them. Do it. Give in to your hate. Anyway, ELS, his picks for Week 11. He's picking the Dolphins in Madrid, and he's going with the Panthers, the Buccaneers, the Titans. Oh, go for the Titans over the Texans. That's a bit of an upset there. Vikings over the Bears, Packers over the Giants, Bengals over the Steelers, Chargers over the Jaguars, Rams over the Seahawks, Niners over the Cardinals, Ravens over the Browns, Broncos over the Chiefs. You're going Broncos over. I know you'll never pick the Chiefs. I get it, but Lions over the Eagles, and Raiders over Cowboys. And an upset there on Monday night for ELS. That's going to be very interesting. Flock in the chat says, Overshown is back as well. That's what I mean. He's back for it just feels like the Cowboys are again, there's going to be enough on that. I'm not saying their defense is great, but I think they're not Bengals bad now. I think the Cowboys defense is not Bengals bad. And I think that's the goal for any defense in the NFL. Even if you're a bad team, as long as you cannot be Bengals bad, you're pretty all right. You'll be okay. And especially with that offense, I think the Cowboys will now win more games than they won't with that offense and with a somewhat decent, a passable NFL defense. So I agree with you on that one, Flock. So we'll see. So we'll see what happens here. But, yeah, there we go, man. That is the Week 11 picks. As I have foretold here on the Stay Tuned Sports on Friday Forecast, we will see you 1 o'clock on Sunday for the New York Giants and the Go Pack Go, the Packers. The Giants' first game without Brian Daboll in a couple of years. Thank God. We'll see how Mike Kafka does. We will see how Jameis Winston does. It'll be entertaining one way or the other. Whether 5 touchdowns or 5 picks, it's going to be entertaining with old Jameis Winston behind the helm. So excited to see how that all works out. And we'll see. ELS says the reason I picked the Raiders was that the Cowboys will find a way to fuck it up. And the Raiders won't? The Raiders can't find ways to fuck it up because they start fucking it up immediately, ELS. Come on. Come on. You're better than that, ELS. You're better than that. So we'll do that I will see if we can get the Seahawks Rams. Maybe we'll do Seahawks Rams here on as well. I know Flock will like that. I know he'll probably be in the rubber room watching that as well with everybody else. But I do want to see if I can get the Rams and Seahawks on here, because that feels like that is going to be a game that we definitely do want to watch. So we've got Seahawks and Rams possibly. And then, of course, Sunday night will be the Lions and Eagles. So until then, enjoy your Saturday full of college football, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening as well. Whether you're doing movies, you got a dinner date, you're going to be spending time with your significant other, wife, girlfriend, whoever you might be putting your penis into. I certainly hope that you enjoy whatever activities you have set for this Friday and for this weekend as well. But until Sunday at 1 p.m. for the Packers and Giants, I am your boy King. This has been the Friday Forecast on Stay Tuned Sports. Adios, everybody.